Hi, I'm Andy Mac. We're here at Fairyhouse, home of the Boyle Sports Irish Grand National. First run in 1870 and won by Sir Robert Peel. Been run here ever since. Barry Garrett, he won it last year and shut the front door, and I was lucky enough to do so in Blue Sea Cracker in 2010. This is my guide on how to get round. Canter down, have a look at the first fence, come back down here and get your girths checked to make sure that's all right. And after that, it's every man for himself, trying to get into a position, the best position you possibly can. Some people will elect to go down the inner, try and save a bit of ground. Others will prefer to go a bit wide and get a clearer run. And then, depending on the type of horse you have, how keen running they are, you'll jump off very handy or maybe settle in a bit better.
The first fence is 66 foot wide, so the 30 runners have plenty of room to get over it. And it's all hokey-dokey here, this lovely horse given to us on the day by Sneezy Foster. Popped the first lovely there. And then we'll come on to the second, which is as big a fence as there is in the country. It's 70 foot wide, I believe, and 4 foot 8 inches tall, which is quite a big jump. It's an open ditch, and this fella's come out over it beautifully. This fella's well able to jump. I wouldn't mind getting a spin on him in the national. If you've jumped the first two as well as this fella has, you'll be more than happy with the way you are, and that'll help you get into a good position. The third again, a straight line on again to the third. This fence is a little bit narrower, and hopefully you'll be where you want to be, settling into a nice position, and your horse will be jumping well. This is one part of the track where you don't want to get caught too wide. I'm going to go a little wide myself to save the ground for the big race, but this is Ballyhack that you hear the commentator talking about. So if you do get caught wide in this bend, you end up very wide into the fence and you can lose a bit of ground. The fence does come up quite quick on you. And over that, a little downhill run to the fifth. This is where people are happy with their positions. They've kind of stopped moving out and they've accepted where they are. So the fifth comes up quickly again, you level out, and then the sixth is another ditch. This fella's getting into a lovely rhythm, and if you're, at this stage of the race, you don't want to be overexerting yourself. You want your horse to be jumping away nicely, nothing too exuberant. Another big ditch here now. Good. The first circuit at this stage, you want everything nice and settled, not running too keen, jumping well. On the second circuit, however, this is where it starts to get serious. I think the last 10 winners, every one of them made a more prominent move at this stage of the race. I don't think anybody was further back than about 6th or 7th. So if you're not starting to show a little bit of a shape here, your money might be in a little bit of bother. Slight bend before this, but it's the 6th last. This is where you want to be getting your horse to put in a little bit more effort jumping. You won't want to be just popping away, conserving energy like in this first circuit. At this stage, you'll want to be getting a little bit more out of your horse. Hopefully he'll be meeting them in slightly longer strides, gaining a bit of ground. A dog leg down to 5 out. And when you come round this dog leg, there's a straight run that brings you onto the home turn and 2 fences. This is where people will start to move on, try and get a position closer to the inner so you're not too wide rounding the home turn. And you'll need good jumps at these two. You'll see a bit of chopping and changing here. People, maybe someone in behind pulling out to get a clean run. Somebody else switching to the inner to save a bit of ground. Heading out to the 4th last, and the turn-in comes up quite quickly after this, so getting towards the inner will be a big advantage. Might set you up for a better position on the bend, maybe might move you ahead of someone. You can steal their ground, get a better run than them. Turning for home, this is where you know if you really do have a chance or not. Hopefully you'll have a little bit up your sleeve and you'll be close enough. If you do turn in, still with a bit in your sleeve, you'll be starting to get a little bit excited that this just might be your year. When you come off the bend, people will sort themselves out, move in or move out to get a clear run at the 3rd last. There's not too much of a run from the bend to the 3rd last, and you need to be jumping on these well. It's all hokey-dokey is jumping absolutely brilliant for me. There's a screen on your right here you might give a peek at in the first circuit to see what your opposition are up to on the second circuit. You'll be more or less concentrating on these 2 final fences. You'll need a big jump at both. That was lovely from this fella. And If your horse could get a jump like that at the second last, you're in with a chance, you'd be more than happy with that one. And at this stage, you're giving absolutely everything you can, asking for everything. There aren't too many coast home ever in the National. I lost my stick at this stage, but luckily Lucy Cracker had enough up her sleeve to keep going. And that's a great jump at the last. If you can pull that out of the bag, you're in with a right chance. And then if you get to this stage, the crowd will be roaring, and hopefully, you'll have won the National.